just a roll up. I'm thinking about articulating the spine individually. Now on the way back, what I'm trying to do is stay low and roll the spine down. And then the arms come up. So I pinch the breath in, and then I start to look, and the arms move really with the spine.
And holding the upper thighs down on the ground.
Really quiet.
Yeah.
And then just breathe in and hold. So on the last one, we do about 6. Put the block in behind us, put one hand behind the head, and it's about shoulder level. We're going to support the head, we're going to bend the knees, we're going to come into backwards curling. So I'm looking for an inhale to lift the collarbones and letting the elbow open a bit wider, and I go into a backwards extension from this bit, then here, and then finally letting that bit move. On the way back, I'm breathing it out. This moves first, then this, then this, then this. I'm keeping my neck long, so it's a breathe in, and a breathe out. Coming out of that position, just roll to the side. Do about 8 to 10. Loose the block out of the way. We're going to go into the Powerhouse 5, and let's do 3 of the 5. We've got single knee fold, double knee fold, hands on the sides of the legs. Breathe in, breathe out, curl up. Single leg stretch. We're going to go high with the leg. We're going to pull the other leg in, giving us some support. Keep the torso really stable and strong. The leg goes high. It's a stretch up, it's a stretch in with the other leg. These elbows are active and they're pulling wider to create space. We're going to go from there, we're going to come back into double leg stretch. Now this is an inhale, up, reach up, curl up more, breathe out, pull in, curl up more. It's like a bellows, so it's a breathe in and it's a breathe out.
Reaching straight up in the air.
Yeah, high as possible. As you get stronger, you can make it harder, but we start high.
And to help the back clicking, push higher.
Higher with the feet.
Higher.
And then we come back down with the arms, take the legs up into space, and we're going to do scissors. So ideally, the inside hand is low down below the knee, the outside hand is high, and we scissor the legs, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out.
And not forcing the neck.
No, make sure you use the elbows wide and high, again to deepen the curl.
Yeah.
Keep the back into the floor, don't let that shift. Ideally legs as straight as possible. Now if you're struggling, if your knees are like this here, have your arms here, curl up higher. Don't bring back, this is your range, try and stay straight. And then the knees come together, we bend the knees in a little bit, keep the back engaged at the floor, bring the hands behind the head. We're going to do double leg lowers, bent knee. And the range is as far as you can easily maintain your spine stuck into the floor. It's in extension, in flexion, so the lower back is engaged with.
And what's the breathing pattern?
Breathing out, breathing in. Or the other way around, it might feel better. And then the final part of the gang of 5 is to go into a crisscross where this leg goes higher again and you twist towards the opposite knee. So you're getting an oblique. And we do about, again, 8 to 10 of all of them. Stopping when the technique starts to fall off. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And then bend the knees in, bring the head down, take the arms out to the sides and just bring one foot down at a time. We're going to go from there into bridging. So I'm just checking about that. So the arms can come up into the air or they can be down, doesn't matter. We can do double or single. Bring the heels close enough so that the hips lift up in the air, push the knees away, stretch through the front of the thighs, lift from the bottom and the hamstrings. Breathing out, rolling through the spine, each joint in turn, ribs before waist, waist before hips. Allowing the legs to soften and relax at the end. If that feels okay, we can do it in a single leg, same version, but use the arms now for a bit more stability, trying to keep level, trying to lift from here, here, and this one as well. And then pulling back down through the ribs, relaxing through, allow the back to articulate. And do maybe 8 doubles or 5 either side singles. Right, so from there we're going to go to windscreen wiper legs. So the arms go like wider V, connected through to the floor, breathing out. Now it might be good to have a head cushion or something here because we're trying to get as much connection through this lower part of the rib cage, so just see how it feels. You You're going to take the knees wider than the hips, feet wider than the knees, so you're in windscreen wiper legs. The legs turn, the ribs stay down. It's an oblique exercise again, so the diagonal fibres moving inside the body. This outside leg drop out, drive from this inside leg. Pull back, breathe in, breathe out, drive from the other side.
I'm pushing the knee away from you.
Yeah, I'm actually lining up, but I'm pulling this down at the same time. And then I'm coming back. If you want to make this more of a stretch, we can turn the head the other way to the knees as well to go contralateral rotation of the spine. And then breathing in, hold. And then breathing out, pull back. So it depends if you've got time, make it more joyous and more things. Okay, so from there we're going to go to prone. I'm going to work on, it's diamond press with a lift of the hand. So you have the hand lifted on one side, you have the feet together. It's almost like you're pulling your heels together and you get like almost like a smiley face in the hips rather than a moustache. The inner thighs are actually on just a little bit as well, so your support frame's on and your ribs are laid flat on the mat rather than pitching up into extension to start off with. We've got a back extension, the feet don't lift, breathe in and then breathe out, release down. Do 5 left hand, 5 with the right hand. And it should feel easy. It's an inhale spinal extension like we were doing over the box. Over the block, where the collarbones are lifting you up from underneath. It's like a jack, and then you pull back down. Okay, so imagine if there's something underneath here that was lifting you up, as well as trying to work from different angles. That makes the whole lot less effort. Right, so we go leg series. We've got the band. It goes wraps around the foot of the top leg in a little loop, crossed over, front of the ankle. And then you hold it in one hand on the top of the hips. It's the same size hand. This foot can be 90 degrees. It's really important you get this leg in line with the shoulder, hip, and that you don't lay down on your ribs so you have your shoulders stacked. You can have a hand supporting your head, or you could have a cushion or a block or something. So the lift and lower, we do about 8 to 10. It's an inhale, exhale, and then hovering, almost like a pendulum swinging. It's exhale, inhale. And work into as much range as you've got until you feel your ribs pushing forward or pulling back. So it's kind of working against the load with the back. And then point, and we do 5 circles forwards and 5 circles backwards. It's really easy to do them here. Try and keep them in line with the spine so that you're actually getting a little bit of leg extension, hip extension as well. And then reverse for 5. Breathing in for a circle, breathing out for a circle. And then bend the knee in. Take the band away, come into a rest position. And we've got the classic rest position here, but I quite like to do it with longer arms and slightly higher hip. Get a mid-back stretch as well. Use the breath to open up the back of the rib cage. Breathe out, just relax the waist. Take a couple of seconds there, 3 or 4 breaths. And then tuck the toes under. We're going to come into our frog press. Pull back, think long neck, think shoulder connected onto the rib cage. So as the shoulders come back onto the ribs, they push away and you start to push out and through.
And the eye line is
slightly in front of the fingertips. And then stay slightly in front of the fingertips, still slightly in front of the fingertips till I get to here, and now it's level with the elbows. My ears are always above the height of my upper arms. And then we come back into cat. So we've done a few things to extend the spine so we can actually move into full spine extension flexion. So we breathe out and let the collarbones drop. Hands a bit close, they need to be directly under my shoulders and my knees, under my hips. Let my collarbones drop, lift the waist and then roll the hip underneath. So it's quite hard, but I'm not really pushing more through my hands. And then I'm breathing in, and then as I breathe out, I unfurl from the tail to the head, and then I'm going to send my tailbone more up. I'm going to keep my neck relaxed and long. I'm going to lift my collarbones and extend my spine into Sphinx. I'm going to breathe in there, I'm going to breathe out. I'm going to roll through my spine from top to bottom, bottom to top. Progressively, as you do more of these, it gets easier and you get more range of movement. So probably 8, something like that. And then we're going to swish the feet out to the right. We're going to take the right hand further forward, wrench around with the left hand. We're going to come into the sidewinder.
where you push back on an out breath and then you breathe into the outside of the ribs through this nostril if you can, and then you breathe out, you come forwards. And we do 4 to either side. Breathe out, breathe in, and then just swish back in, swish back out, switch and change. If it feels too easy, you can take the outside arm further. Gives you more hip range and gives you a better stretch perhaps. Trying to keep the shoulders and the hips level. We're going to go from there, we're going to go into the leg pull front prep. So I'm going to be in a 3-point position with my toes tucked under my heel, forwards, long neck, lifted. My gaze is now forward at my fingertips. I'm breathing in and I'm pushing my heel back. I'm breathing out, I'm pushing my toes down and bringing my shoulders forward. So it's a full movement just from my ankle. And I do 5 left and then 5 right. And then it's back into the center. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left foot out to the side. I'm going to take my right foot back so the heel, the knee and the hand are all in line. I'm going to breathe in, and as I breathe out I'm going to reach up into the air. I'm going to keep the sense of space and push and reach. I'm going to follow the fingertip with my nose. I'm going to reach overhead as I breathe out. I'm going to send the hip up just a little bit and really do a deep long side bend. Breathe in, and as I breathe out I'm going to come back up and replace the hand back to the floor, switch sides over, turn, reach, kick, lift and open and reach through and push away. Breathe in, as I breathe out I'm stretching overhead, following the thumb with my view. I'm breathing into that rib cage and I'm breathing out to come up, over, down. It's about flow, grace and elegance, space. Breathe in, just sit back into my heels, just take another breath there. And I'm going to breathe out, I'm going to push my toes underneath, bring my hands down with my heels, I'm going to drop my heels down, I'm in a down roll position, I'm going to hug my knees, I'm going to walk one knee up, one heel down. Breathing in, breathing out, about 8 to either side. Let the arms just hang and then roll from the hips first. Roll myself up into space. Try and keep the legs as straight as possible. Feel I'm engaging with the floor. Keep the arches lifted. Bring the center of my body up to tall. Take a breath in there. Have a little gaze. Try and find my feet on the floor. Make sure I know everything's okay. If the fairies are talking to me because I'm a bit dizzy from being down there, just let it happen. Relax and breathe. Thank you. And done.